I have no friends, I only have accomplices now. On the other hand, my accomplices are more numerous than my friends. They are the human race. A loveless world is a dead world. You have so much inside you, and the noblest happiness of all. Don't just wait for a man to come along. That is the mistake so many women make. Find your happiness in yourself. The truth is that nothing is less sensational than pestilence, and by reason of their very duration, great misfortunes are monotonous. I know simply that the sky will last longer than I. Happiness implied a choice, and within that choice a concerted will, a lucid desire. A lot of jobs don't allow you to be who you are. There is dignity in work only when it is work freely accepted. Everybody knows life isn't worth living. Those who write clearly have readers. Men die and they are not happy. A living man can be enslaved and reduced to the historic condition of an object, but if he dies in refusing to be enslaved, he reaffirms the existence of another kind of human nature which refuses to be classified as an object. Mon cher, for anyone who is alone, without God and without a master, the weight of days is dreadful. In short, they were gambling on their luck, and luck is not to be coerced. The greatness of man lies in his decision to be stronger than his condition. It is in the thick of calamity that one gets hardened to the truth, in other words, to silence. When love ceases to be tragic, it is something else, and the individual again throws himself in search of tragedy. Real nobility is based on scorn, courage, and profound indifference. People hasten to judge in order not to be judged themselves. I had only a little time left, and I didn't want to waste it on God. People don't love each other at our age, Martha. They please each other. That is all. Later on, when you are old and impotent, you can love someone. At our age, you just think you do. That is all it is. The realization that life is absurd cannot be an end, but only a beginning. This divorce between man and his life, the actor and his setting, is properly the feeling of absurdity. Peace is the only battle worth waging. Artistic creation is a demand for unity and a rejection of the world. I sometimes need to write things which I cannot completely control, but which therefore prove that what is in me is stronger than I am. The artist forges himself to the others, midway between the beauty he cannot do without and the community he cannot tear himself away from. That is why true artists scorn nothing they are obliged to understand rather than to judge. Revolution, in order to be creative, cannot do without either a moral or metaphysical rule to balance the insanity of history. Psychology is action, not thinking about oneself. To correct a natural indifference, I was placed halfway between misery and the sun. Misery kept me from believing that all was well under the sun, and the sun taught me that history wasn't everything. Creating is living doubly. The groping, anxious quest of a Proust, his meticulous collecting of flowers, of wallpapers, and of anxieties, signifies nothing else. Man is always prey to his truths. Once he has admitted them, he cannot free himself from them. I was absent at the moment I took up the most space. By definition, a government has no conscience. Sometimes it has a policy, but nothing more. There are people who vindicate the world, who help others live just by their presence. Everything is true, and nothing is true. I know that man is capable of great deeds, but if he isn't capable of great emotion, well, he leaves me cold. To stay or to go, it amounted to the same thing. I laid my heart open to the benign indifference of the universe. To feel absolutely right is the beginning of the end. Believe me, the hardest thing for a man to give up is that which he really doesn't want after all. Obstinacy alone is not a virtue. Everything considered, a determined soul will always manage. There is so much stubborn hope in the human heart. Every man, and for stronger reasons, every artist wants to be recognized. So do I. Rebellion cannot exist without a strange form of love. In the past, the poverty they shared had a certain sweetness about it. When the end of the day came and they would eat their dinner in silence, with the oil lamp between them, there was a secret joy in such simplicity, such retrenchment. Accepting the absurdity of everything around us is one step, a necessary experience. It should not become a dead end. It arouses a revolt that can become fruitful. I make myself strict rules in order to correct my nature, but it is my nature that I finally obey. Utopia is that which is in contradiction with reality. Then we understand that rebellion cannot exist without a strange form of love. Those who find no rest in God or in history are condemned to live for those who, like themselves, cannot live, in fact, for the humiliated. O my soul, do not aspire to immortal life, but exhaust the limits of the possible. Pindar, Pythian Roman 3. When the soul suffers too much, it develops a taste for misfortune. A fate is not our punishment. In fact, other people create for lack of power. I, on the other hand, do not need a work I live. Some are created to love, while the others, to live. Whereas the Greeks gave to will the boundaries of reason, we have come to put the will's impulse in the very center of reason, which has, as a result, become deadly. Marry yourself first, promise never to leave you. Yes, and when the love of life disappears, no meaning can console us. Still, obviously, one cannot be sensible all the time. There is scarcely any passion without struggle. To be born to create, to love, to win at games is to be born to live in time of peace. But war teaches us to lose everything and become what we were not. It all becomes a question of style. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. If something is going to happen to me, I want to be there.